Hey guys, good evening. Ha 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 ha. Yay, I can see the chats. Hello. Hi Pahuja and Biswal and Rigank Mehra and everyone out there. Hi guys, good evening. Namaste Kunal, I'm here. कैसा रहा आप सबका दिन? How has the day treated you so far? Practice चल रही होगी. Mrigank, I'm good. Happy to see you again. Hi Sneha, hi Jerry. Tom कहाँ है? Hi Pinto Gurjar. I guess it's Gurjar, not Gurjar, है ना? योगिता पराशर, hi. रिया, hi. पिंटू, देख लिया आपको मैंने. Rocky, hi. I'm good, Rocky. Hope the same for you. Hi, Vedamitra. Anurag Chauhan, I'm so happy to see you again. खुशी साहू, क्या हाल है बच्चे? Biswal, even I feel happy to see you every day. Short summary PYQs, in that you scored less, I remember. Doesn't matter, Mrigank. You're going to improve. Short summary is a very scoring topic, I'm telling you. Parth, okay, 3 RCs. 15 VA ज़्यादा कर रहे हो आप पार्थ. 3 RCs, 5 to 6 VA. That's what you need to do because stamina उतना का build up करना है. 3 to 4, 3.5 RCs and 4 to 5 VA. Yogita, what's going to happen in this session? चलो guess करो सब लोग. What's going to happen? Rocky Kumar and Satya and Harsh and Savitri. I still have the traces of the cold, guys, so I may cough in between, I may sneeze, I may even feel a little dizzy because of the headache, but then that's okay. I'm back on track. Yeah, Mrigank. Yes, Aryan, happy to see you. Old wine, new bottle, Chirag. शर्म नहीं आती है? उम्र है तुम्हारी वाइन और बियर ये सब बातें करने की. पापा आसपास हैं, बुलाना उनको. Hi Meenal Vohra, happy to see you. Practice, yes, Veda Mitra. Hi Anurag. Good evening Sindhu. चलो सब लोग once again welcome, वणक्कम, good evening, सत श्री अकाल, सलाम, नमस्ते, सब कुछ. Welcome to the session. I'm happy to be with you all. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to make it worth your while, so please roll up your sleeves and roll with me. Victory, place sentence in a paragraph. Victory, कई बार वैसे सेशंस करवा चुकी हूँ, आपको जागने की जरूरत है. हाँ आयुष्मान, मौसम 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 बड़ा बेईमान है. Okay, any doubts, any queries before we start? Come on guys, कुछ बता दो मुझे, कुछ पूछ लो, एक दो चीजें और. उसके बाद तो फिर प्रैक्टिस अगले 1-1.25 घंटे तक फिर हिलने नहीं दूंगी मैं आप लोगों को. Hope you all have had dinner. I just finished mine, so I'm like kind of refueled, and for the next 1.5 hours I'm here very much with you guys. No moving out, no going here and there, no chai pani khana, utna nachna nahana, nothing. Vaibhav, okay. All right. A quick announcement. Today is 6th. So I think by 8th, we are planning to give you ICAT 7 7 ही दे रहे हैं, राइट? नंबर में मैं कंफ्यूज हो जाती हूँ. 8th को 7 दे रहे हैं, करेक्ट. So everybody, please get prepared for this, and I request all of you to take the mock, because after that I need some feedback. How you are going to cope with the level, with question selection, with accuracy. Okay. All right. Chaliye. So, IIM ABC Practice Batch. We have already started this, and those of you who haven't enrolled are requested to do so, because in this you get this. पूरा यहाँ पे आपका इसका breakup लिखा हुआ है, and as part of this I'm going to give you some very good questions, like kind of slightly higher level questions today. So देखते हैं if you can actually cope with the level. Start करते हैं, ठीक है? So what are we doing? How many questions and like what topics? RC, we are doing 2 RCs, 8 questions. Okay, we are doing PJ. I think there are 3 short summaries. There are 2. Mrigank, since you got short summaries wrong in the 7 p.m. session today, I want you to take a shot at these 2 and see if you can make up for that. Vedamitra. Okay. भाई बहुत सोर थ्रोट है बिस्वाल, मैं बता नहीं सकती हूँ. मेरा दिल चाह रहा किसी से दबवा लूं मैं गला. इट्स लाइक अंदर से ना वो इचिंग होती है. चलिए गाइस. So, reading comprehension, the first passage. कुछ पहचान में आ रहा है पैसेज आप लोगों को? हाँ. Vedamitra, what is this about? Only cat. I'm quite fine, just that the after effect of the cold is still there. Yes, I will, Ria. Thank you so much for that. Betadine gargle, yeah. Come on, guys. Serial killers. देखा देखा लग रहा. आर्यन, कैसे? कहाँ देखा आपने? Next, right? And then next. Another theory. So there are 2 and 4 and 3, 7 paragraphs. मीनल, ये आज का क्वेश्चन ऑफ द आरसी ऑफ द डे से लिया गया है. ओके. स्नेहा, डोंट बोले तो क्या चीज डोंट? ना पढ़ाऊं या गला ना दबवाऊं या क्या चीज? बोलो जल्दी. आरसी ऑफ द डे आज का. I haven't yet given out the answers, so I'm expecting people are going to get stumped. Okay, now this is a passage on serial killers. Yes, Meenal. 2, 4, 7 paragraphs. It's a data-based passage. Criminologists, 2 paragraphs में दिख रहे हैं criminologists. Logists are who? जो study करते हैं, right? Okay, and then we have got another theory, something of that sort. चलिए, let's check the questions once. ठीक है guys? Which of the following can be most reasonably inferred about adolescent criminal behavior? Fine, Yogita. Adolescent criminal behavior. Specific, The whole passage is not about adolescent. It's about criminologists that trying to study criminals and something to do with females, right? So adolescent criminal behavior is going to be specific. Oh, I hate these slides. उफ, ये एक को कॉपी किया तो जबरदस्ती सारे में ये एनिमेशन आ गया है and this is irritating me like anything. Yeah. Okay, all the following are false except false, 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 true. And the last question. Which of the following best captures the central argument of the passage? Okay. Main idea. Right? Okay. I'll take you back to the passage now. Chaliye guys. Try to get the main idea from here. Okay. 198 and 87. Okay. Just an example. Right? Do you see a question here? Question mark. Right? So why is it that women tend to commit far less crime than men? If you see a question like this, it has to be connected with the main idea, especially if this is there in the first or last parts of the passage. Clear so far? This is all data. You don't need to get into all that. कोई फायदा नहीं होना है. Next. Para 3, para 4. Just read the first line and do vertical reading. Researching this question. What question? Theories. I'm not going to read all the theories now. One study, program boys and girls, okay. This disparity in adolescent delinquency, there's a question. Just keep an eye on that. Okay. Then, although past criminologists tended to point to biological differences, okay, although, yeah, today's researchers, very very important, Chirag and Biswal, what is today's researchers' view? Far more discerning. Discerning का meaning क्या है? They understand more. They are more perceptive. They know more. Right? Citing social factors. हर चीज में निकल के आता है social factors and cultural. Then do a little bit of skimming. Right? Okay. Next. Another theory. Do commit crimes, but historically, right? Since the 1950s, greater independence, okay, broadly found that men are committing crimes at lower rates. Okay, read the last part, please. Scan. Are we done? Peeps. So what according to you is the main idea? बताओ मुझे. Without reading too much, can we actually understand what the hero of the passage is and what the angle is? Hmm. Hero? What? Crimes? Female criminals? Right? Why do they commit less crimes than men? And then the passage is trying to come up with reasons. The author's conclusion is here, right? Leniently means not strictly. Yeah? Done. So, I'm sure you know what is where. है ना? जिसको मैं कहती हूँ tying the loose ends of the passage together. Main idea क्या है? Flow क्या है? बहुत clear है, right? Questions? Adolescent criminal behavior. Come on, guys. We need to go and pick adolescents, right? Go on, read the relevant zone. Young age, before cultural influences can program or condition boys and girls. Biological component, okay. Adolescent girls, cool. ठीक है. Question. चलिए. Can you start eliminating, please? Eliminate and save your answer. Okay. I'll take you back once more. वैसे तो आज going back and forth is a big pain because of this animation. But still, चलो करना तो है. Is there adolescent thing mentioned anywhere else? All right, save your answer, please. रॉकी कुमार, अगर तूने क्वेश्चन पे फोकस नहीं किया और फिजूल टेलीग्राम आईडी, व्हाट्सएप आईडी, फोन नंबर आईडी, ये वो कुछ कुछ पूछा, बाहर कर दूंगी क्लास से मैं. So after elimination, what is your answer? I'll take some suggestions from you guys. Okay, वो लिखती है says answer is A. What about the others? भाई और तू करेक्ट कर रॉकी, मेम नहीं होता है. मेम बोले तो अंग्रेजी है, अंग्रेज मेम चले गए अपनी अपनी मेम को लेकर के, वो जैसे ही हमने आजादी हासिल की. मैम बोलना चाह रहे हो आप, MA''A''M. हाँ, आंसर इज A और B. द क्राउड इज गोइंग विथ ईदर A और B. ओके, ठीक है. चलिए नेक्स्ट वन, क्वेश्चन 2. Based on the passage, which of the following is most likely to be true about historical patterns? Hi Nishchal, historical patterns of female crime, right? Do you realize that this is going to take you some time? I mean, it requires you to look for these options and kind of go and look historical patterns. Historical patterns किधर है? चल के देखते हैं एक बार. In case you're not able to locate the historical patterns, we will move over to the next question. Okay? Criminologists, biological differences, case closed, okay. Historical patterns, majority of history, okay. Right, okay. Historically, ठीक है. So you have to look in various paragraphs for this. Options. Chalo guys, start eliminating. Yes, come on. So, your answer. बोलिए. वो लिखती है says B eliminated. Ria says, Rocky says B is the answer. Rubal, B is the answer, okay. Savitri, good. Okay. Nurturing means caring, tending to something. Harsh Tiwari says A is the answer, okay. Aman also says A, okay. Chaliye. Question 3. false except. That means in 3 options you're going to find traps. बताइए. Female criminals are more likely to be apprehended today due to rising testosterone levels. Criminologists universally agree that biological differences are the sole reason. Modern trends suggest that the gap in criminal behavior between men and women is closing rapidly in all areas. Okay. Some crimes such as child murder and embezzlement is ghapla, पैसे का घपला, exhibit a gender parity in perpetration. So what is your answer? बताओ. उमंग. Yes, sure, Mrigank. Yeah. Bolo guys, your answer. D. Okay. Confused. All right. Okay. चलो मेन आइडिया क्वेश्चन. आज तो मेरा दिल ही नहीं चाह रहा कि मैं स्लाइड्स घुमाऊं आगे पीछे. Fourth, come on. Central argument. D. Okay. For main idea. लंबे लंबे ऑप्शंस हैं, है ना. ट्रैप्स तो होंगे ही. A for this, Yogita. Why not C? Okay, so your answer is A. Mrigank says B. Okay. Only Cat says C. चलो बहुत हो गया, बहुत खेल लिया हम, है ना. नेहा एंड थॉर एंड वो लिखती है एंड एवरीबॉडी. Your scores. बिस्वाल का 4/4. नाइस. All right, BBDA. Check your scores, please. Last वाला wrong हो गया. Okay. Attempted 2, Rubal. So you got both correct. Yogita, 3/4 is a good score. But you should probably have not attempted all 4. बिस्वाल आजकल नाश्ता और खाना में आरसी चबा रहा है. Okay, let's just check the questions quickly, everybody, because I can see many of you got questions wrong. Yogita, 3 is good. रॉकी 3/2 कैसे हो सकता, मुझे बता दो. तुमने 2 ही क्वेश्चंस किए, उसमें से 3 करेक्ट हो गए आपके. जबरदस्त है ये. Okay. Which of the following can be inferred about adolescent criminal behavior? Yeah. Criminal behavior adolescence वाला इसने क्या बोला था? I'll show you. Researching this question for decades. Okay. Over that time, explored numerous theories. Aggressive, compulsive, okay. Before cultural influences can program. तो ये कह रहा है sex difference, the biological difference holds true even from a young age. Before cultural influences can condition boys and girls. That suggests what? There's a biological component to male recklessness, likely stemming from their testosterone levels. One girl criminal corresponds with 15 boys. This disparity can send girls and boys on different life paths. Yeah? Done? Okay. Take you over to the question now. Yeah. So, we have this. Female adolescents, despite being biologically less predisposed, are influenced more heavily by this. They said before the cultural factors set in. So this is eliminated. Correct? अच्छा, रजत शाह भसड़ मचाने आया है क्लास में. रजत शाह हिंदी में पढ़ाओ मैम, मैं पाठशाला वाला हूँ, मैं पाठशाला में आया हूँ, मुझे कैड भी हिंदी में देना है. रजत शाह मुझे माफ कर दे भाई, आई कैन नॉट टीच इंग्लिश इन हिंदी. इट्स लाइक मैं चाइनीज पढ़ने गई हूँ, मैम चाइनीज जापानीज में पढ़ाओ, मुझे जापानीज ही आती है. ओके, लिसन. सो दिस सेज सोशियो कल्चरल के पहले the biological factor sets in. It is there before the cultural factors condition boys and girls. Right? Everybody? Khushi Sahu 0/4. That's because you lack practice. Okay? Next, the large difference in adolescent delinquency between boys and girls stems from differing societal. Same thing. अभी तो आया नहीं है वो, उसने बोला conditioning नहीं हुई है. Right? Option D, if cultural programming were removed, you remove this and female adolescent behavior would converge with that of males, means both would be equal. 15 will be 15. If cultural programming were entirely removed, cultural programming was not the case. It was completely biological thing. So this suggests that early intervention strategies should prioritize modifying behavioral tendencies. This is the only one that is left among the 4. The others are connected with the social and cultural factors. Yeah? Okay. Next. Historical patterns of female crime. I think this was a very easy question, because this is given there. Patriarchal law enforcement structures likely led to the underrepresentation. So what is patriarchy? Patriarchy is the male dominated system in which the women are downtrodden. Male superiority is conditioned right from the beginning. Okay, underrepresentation in criminal records. So underrepresentation of women means how many women are there in the family, what do? They don't think it's important to actually enroll women for anything. So skewing actual statistics. This is given, right? Okay. Next, question 3. False except all will have traps. More likely to be apprehended today. पकड़े जाने का chance है. Due to rising testosterone levels, the testosterone was connected with boys. Which one, Yogita? Which question? Right? So this is false. Criminologists universally agree. Sole reason, red flags. Correct? Skewing means twisting. Okay? The data is skewed. The data is faulty. Eliminated. Eliminated. Modern trends suggest that the gap is closing rapidly in all areas. Question 2, Yogita, I'll take you back. Out. Some crimes such as child murder and embezzlement, gender parity in Badhawa, gender parity was being talked about in various paragraphs. Right? You can go back and check child murder, embezzlement, sab mein, like, gender parity has been talked about. So only one is true, the others are getting eliminated mainly because of traps. Yeah? Rakshit, you should read more, obviously, na. You know my answer, still you are asking me. Okay, Yogita, I'm taking you back to this question. Why not A, you are saying? Historical patterns. You are saying women's lower crime rates in history can largely be attributed to a societal structure that restricted their autonomy and access. It was definitely between A and B. Right? But you go back now, historical patterns, I'll take you back. Access and autonomy, you are saying. Look here. Another theory suggests that women do commit crimes. It's not that they don't. Closer to those of men. Now this is another theory. It may or may not be true, Yogita. Because the passage, what is the primary purpose of the passage? The primary purpose is to come up with various theories that kind of explain the disparity in the numbers between male and female criminals. Right? So at rates closer to those of men, but historically been overlooked or treated leniently by authorities. The numbers. Men have historically dominated, patriarchal, and many of these men likely held stereotypical views about women. ये इसने क्या मर्डर किया होगा, इसके हाथ चूड़ियां पहनने और रोटी बनाने के लिए हैं, ये हाथ कहाँ किसी का गला काटेंगे. राइट? या फिर इसने मर्डर कर दिया, इसको बचा लो, औरत है, औरत जात है, हमारे घर की इज्जत है, शान और शौकत है, इसको बचा लो, इसका ब्लेम मैं वो नौकर रामू काका के सर पे दे देता हूँ. कहाँ ये अभी निकलेगी, कहाँ ये जेल में जाकर के मर्दों के साथ बैठेगी. सो ये टिपिकल stereotypical views. These views meant that female criminals may have been able to escape apprehension. Apprehension means they could have been caught, but then maybe they were able to escape. Got it? She shouldn't have done it. Oh, hey, she's a woman. And if caught, they might have been turned over to husbands of family to deal out of punishments. बचाओ इनको निकालो, इसमें से निकालो. Right? So the typical thing. So the data, Yogita, the data was skewed probably. This is what this historical wala point says. Right? Yeah. Skewing actual statistics. You are saying A. History can largely be attributed to societal structure, restricted their autonomy and access. This is not what is given in that para, history वाले में. It's saying कैसे औरत है बोल के बचा लेते होंगे. Right? So we are done with this. ठीक है? Except wala done. Last question in this, main idea. Central argument. Who got this wrong? बताओगे मुझे? Yes, guys. Sahil, Yogita. You got it wrong, Riya. Agarwal also, okay. Sahil, okay. Arpit. Which one did you mark? People had said A, B and C. Alag alag. Central argument. Let's check the options, guys. Yes, Meenal. Yogita, what about you? Although biological factors contribute significantly, this is the conclusion, in criminal behavior, evolving cultural norms, systemic biases, overall general biases, also shape the ways in which female criminality is perceived and recorded. Also, right? Because the paragraphs have discussed the cultural and social and systemic biases. Now, B, the underrepresentation of women in criminal statistics primarily reflects long-standing societal stereotypes and patriarchal attitudes. Legal law. Underrepresentation of women was only one para, that is history wala para. Underrepresentation, which suggested that the data was skewed. You're getting my point, Arpit? So this is narrow. Correct? Patriarchal attitudes, societal stereotypes. Right? Option C. Female criminality has historically been misrepresented. Same thing. Historically, one para. Main idea cannot be connected with only one para. Yes, Thor, you are right. This is narrow. Due to limited independence, opportunity, erosion, narrow. Okay? Statistical parity. That para was talking about how the data was skewed. Maybe they had committed the crimes, but then they were defended, saying that औरत है, बचा लो. Option D, despite a growing convergence in male and female roles, women continue to be less prone to criminal activity due to cause and effect, enduring influence of child rearing responsibilities. This is again one para. So A is the only one that's giving you the entire thing, right? Biological factors are dominant according to the author's view, but we cannot ignore the systemic biases, the patriarchal setup, and the other problems, the evolving cultural norms. So this contains all the points. Clear? Okay. Now, I'm going to give you hang in there, guys. Chalo, let's do some parajumbles now. Yes. Yogita and Biswal. यस सावित्री. पीजे देखते ही सावित्री के मुंह से निकला, ओह भगवान मुझे बचा ले. योगिता सब कुछ लिखने के बाद फिर आप पूछती हैं व्हाट टू डू इन दिस। नाच लो भाई, नाच लो। वेदामित्रा, दिस से तो होना नहीं चाहिए। स्टार्ट। द आर्ट ऑब्जेक्ट becomes merely a placeholder. Okay. Do you think B can start it? Tell me, guys. This view. So I'm going to put C here. Right? Something comes before C. The art object becomes merely a placeholder. कैसे? I don't get it. Come on, Umang. I mean, if we start the para with B, you know what the tone is there? I'll tell you. वो आर्ट ऑब्जेक्ट सिर्फ प्लेस होल्डर बन जाता है। अरे भाई, हवा में कैसे आया ये, कहां से आया? वो आर्ट ऑब्जेक्ट प्लेस होल्डर सिर्फ एक प्लेस होल्डर बन के रह जाता है। कैसा? सो व्हाट विल स्टार्ट द पैरा? इट इंप्लाइज तो नहीं होगा। दिस कांट स्टार्ट। इट्स ईदर ए और बी, यू डिसाइड। ए बी और बी ए, आगे पीछे भी हो सकता है। Okay. Shatayu, come on, give me the sequence, guys. I need some suggestions. Umang, A, C, B, D. What about the others? Vedamitra, you got your mistake? Okay. Meenal, A, C, D, B. Okay. Others? Okay. A, D, C, B. The opening sentence had to be A. Why? ध्यान से सुन लो यहां पर. Some thinkers argue that aesthetic value lies not in the object itself, but in the communal rituals, interpretation and debate. So, aesthetic value is what? The beauty. Beauty is not connected to the object. Vedamitra, you get my point? Beauty is not connected to the object itself, but it's more connected to something else. तो object की औकात क्या रह जाती है? What does the object become? Oh, the object becomes merely a placeholder or catalyst. So I'm going to put A and B like this. You get it? The object becomes merely a placeholder or catalyst for shared meaning making. Right? Then you can put C here. This is what we do, right? You can put C here. This view disrupts the traditional emphasis on form, technique, originality as the essence of this. Okay? But B doesn't fit here. नहीं जा रहा है. It implies that beauty is neither inherent nor universal. कैसे अचानक universal, inherent कैसे? You get it? So D comes here. Why are A and D connected? I'll give you a reason. D says it implies that beauty is neither inherent nor universal. यहाँ बोला है ना, rituals of interpretation means Majnu bhai ka ghoda, if you show me, right, I will interpret it differently. I'll say it's a langda ghoda. You show it to Vedamitra, Vedamitra will say this is a zakhmi ghoda. You show it to Aryan, Aryan will say ये घोड़ा है ही नहीं, ये तो गधा है. You show it to Savitri, she will say नहीं नहीं ये तो कुछ और है. You get it? So the aesthetic value does not lie in the object itself but in interpretation. That means उस object की सुंदरता नहीं है. Beauty is neither inherent, not in the object, nor universal. Vedamitra, Savitri, Shabana, Aryan, Chirag, everybody is not going to think similar. But contingent on what? Cultural context. So D is an explanation of A. That's why A and D are together. Do you get my point? Everybody, I have explained my point. Why A and D are together. We follow the explanation technique in PJ. Got it, Sneha? So this point here, communal rituals of interpretation and debate, it generates this. This is explained in D. Fine, so A and D. And then what happens? After that you go to C. C says this view, pura, this plus this, explanation. This view disrupts the traditional emphasis on this. Fine. And then the art object becomes merely a placeholder. So end mein bola hai, what does it become eventually? A placeholder, catalyst, shared meaning making. Okay, now I have got a point here. Hang in there. This was the answer. I agree with this that A and D are strongly connected because of explanation technique. Fine. But tell me one thing, this B, ये जो है, the art object becomes a placeholder or catalyst for shared meaning making. Right? Why can't it be placed here? ये समझाओ मुझे. Anybody? I'm just trying to show you an angle here. Why can't B be placed here? Yes, guys. No? See, because here C में बोला है ना, it disrupts what? The traditional emphasis on form, the object, technique, originality, essence of this. Form and technique, traditional emphasis. So this emphasis was on the object itself. So here it continues. Yes, here it's continued as this. So art object is left as what? The art object becomes merely a placeholder, shared meaning making. Got it? So this was slightly tricky, but if you are good in reading, if you've got a good flow, you can get this correct. Chalo, I'll take you over to the next one now. Q words are there, right? Temporal, related to time. CBAD, okay. Some more suggestions. This mechanization, where is the mechanization, guys? Yogita, CBAD. I got this. So B and A is a pair. Okay. What else? Rubal, Sneha, Nitin says CBDA. Savitri, CDAB. Alright, let's see what the answer is. Ho ho. BACD. I'll tell you why. This is very justified. Okay. See, B and A was a very neat pair. Everybody should have got it. Wrong, wrong. B and A is good. Why? Invention of clocks and calendars. Clocks, calendars, measurable units despite this mechanization. Right? B and A. Sorted. Despite this mechanization, our subjective sense remains elastic. Means it can be this, can be this. Right? Can be this, can be this. Okay? Remains elastic, expanding in moments of wonder and contracting under monotony. Right? This discrepancy between objective and subjective. So D comes here. This is good. We get the structure. Right? But C and D is a very good pair. Why? C says some neuroscientists suggest that emotional salience and memory density shape our this. So they are saying this shapes our temporal experience, not seconds and minutes. Okay, and then C and D, this discrepancy, objective and subjective. This is objective, this is subjective, right? So C and D is a nice pair, BA is a nice pair, so we bring them together, BACD. Now many of you, in fact most of you started with C. I'll tell you why not C. मतलब start करने के लिए. Some neuroscientists suggest that emotional salience and memory density, okay, shape our temporal experience. You are giving the detail of subjectivity. समझ में आ रही है बात? Detail of subjectivity. First you have to say that there is something subjective. So हर हाल में A should be this side and C should be this side. Do you see my point, Yogita? A has to be on the left hand side. Why? Because it says our subjectivity is there. Subjective sense is elastic. It can be this, it can be that. Then C explains. It can be emotional salience and memory or seconds and minutes. And then he says this discrepancy. Got it? PJ Abhigyan, not more than 90 seconds. Chali, the last question. Come on, Rubal, Sneha, give me the answer for this. Can they be held morally accountable? Propose. CADB. ACBD, ओके, ADCB, अरे बहुत सारे आ रहे हैं इसमें तो, हाँ हाँ, CBDA निश्चल, परम्यूटेशंस एंड कॉम्बिनेशंस खेल रहे हो आप लोग, लग रहा है ऐसे ही मुझे। ADCB और कितने लूं मैं? ADCB, चलो, some people got it correct, well done. Yes, Mrigank, well done. Yes, Yogita. What does this say? There is a question here. Can they be held morally accountable? They take over our tasks, right? Once we thought certain tasks were only human, uniquely human. They could be done only by humans. Now the question is, can they be held morally accountable? Can we connect ethics with that? Right? So obviously you cannot jump from A to B. That's like, very abrupt. This shifts responsibility. Where is the shifting responsibility? Right? So shifting responsibility is happening where? Shifting responsibility is here. Attributing blame to machines hides the decisions of their human designers and users. You make a wrong decision, and when people hold you accountable for it, you say, oh, that was my machine. It was an error on part of the machine. जैसे मैं जब कहती हूँ, why this wrong spelling? आप कहते हो ना typo, ma'am, typo. That is called attributing blame to machines. So this C will come here, and this shifts responsibility. So B. C and B is a good pair. Right? This shifts responsibility from algo systems to the institutions that deploy and regulate them. Where will D go? या तो D यहाँ जाएगा या यहाँ जाएगा. While some propose frameworks for machine ethics, others want this ethics connect it with morally accountable. Okay? So machine ethics, अब यहाँ पे समझो इस चीज को, Kunal and everybody. If you put machine ethics over here, यहाँ option sentence A is asking you, can we hold them accountable, morally accountable? Okay. D says people are coming up with machine ethics that will hold machines accountable. Right? Can we hold them accountable? They say machine ethics that will hold them accountable. But if you come up with this, the blame is going to be on the machines. That is what takes us to C. Critics say this. Attributing blame to machines will hide the decisions of the makers, the designers. So, A, D, C, B. Yes, Rubal? Correct. Chalo, that's all for today. We are done. Whatever is left, we'll continue with this in tomorrow's session. I really need to go and gargle a little bit to clear the clog. Okay, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the RC and the 3 PJ questions. मृगांक कल कंटिन्यू करते हैं. Okay? Alright, bye-bye guys. Take care everybody. I'm going to see you again. Tomorrow again 9:30 edition. 0441 edition.